Hey there, welcome to the Not Just Momma Podcast, the show where we talk about building businesses, chasing dreams, raising little yous, and keeping it real through all the chaos. We're diving into mindset, motivation, and all things mompreneur life, all while microwaving our coffee for the 20 millionth time. I'm your host, Heather Madsen, a dream-chasing mompreneur who knows exactly what it's like to juggle big ambitions with a million daily tasks. Because let's be honest, we're not just moms. We're wives, we're partners, we're daughters, friends, creators, dreamers, and so much more. And just because we're raising little tiny humans doesn't mean we have to put our dreams on the back burner. We deserve to chase them, build something incredible, and make a difference, all while being amazing moms. So go ahead and nuke that coffee once again and get comfy, because we're diving in. Hey there, welcome back to the Not Just Momma Podcast. So in the last episode, we talked about why you shouldn't wait to start creating content for your online business. And that's like, even if you don't feel ready or have a product to sell to your audience. Well, today I'm going to give you a super practical, beginner-friendly place to start. And honestly, it's one of my most favorite platforms for new content creators, especially if you're an introvert like me, or you don't have a big audience yet. And I know I've talked about it before, but today we're talking about Pinterest again. And I know what you might be thinking, because I thought the same thing too when I first started using Pinterest and using it for years this way. But you might be thinking that Pinterest is just for finding recipes for dinner and do-it-yourself projects. And like I said, I've been using Pinterest that way for many, many years, because really, when a lot of us do go on there, it's to find those recipes for lunch or dinner or meal prepping, and I know I've done that. But no, really, Pinterest is an absolute goldmine for getting your content in front of people who are actively searching for what you have to offer. And that's without having to be on all the time or an extrovert like you would have to be on social media, right? Another great thing about Pinterest is that it really doesn't require a huge following like social media does. I have to say that Pinterest is hands down my favorite way to get my content out there. And the best part is you can use any link to connect your pins to anywhere that you want your Pinterester, how do you say that? Pinterest person, your audience, anywhere you want them to go, that you can use the link multiple times, and you put that to multiple pins, and it can serve you years and years to come. So let's talk about why Pinterest is actually the perfect spot for beginners to begin in their online business, okay? Here's the thing about Pinterest. It's not really a social media platform, okay? It's a visual search engine. So it's more like Google than Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever you use. So that means when you post something on Pinterest, when you put your pin on Pinterest, it doesn't just disappear after 24 hours like it does on social media platforms. So that's what I'm talking about. That's how social media works. Like, you see some and then you don't. It's really weird. But using Pinterest, your pin can keep showing up for months, even years after you post it. And because people go on Pinterest to search for ideas, solutions, or just get some plain inspiration, they are already looking for what you have to offer. Okay. They want answers, and Pinterest is a great way for them to get those answers. Plus, you're not interrupting them with your content when they don't really want to see it. You are meeting them right when they need you, when they are in that search bar. I really feel that this is huge for online business owners, because you don't have to fight for attention in a crowded feed or fish for your audience, because let me tell you, that's really annoying. And you don't have to post multiple times a day on social media to stay relevant. You can literally use one link multiple times to Pinterest pin images, and the content can keep working for you over and over and over and over again. Does that sound nice? Plus, if you are introverted like me, there's absolutely no pressure to be on camera constantly or keep up with trends that change every single week. And in fact, you can create less content. Honestly, you guys, because like I said, it works for you for years, months, whatever, years to come. Okay. But here's the part I really, really want you to hear. Pinterest is a slow game, and that's why it drives a lot of people crazy. It usually takes 6 to 12 months of pinning consistently before you start to see steady traffic and results from it, okay? And it can seem like it's not working at first, but it's just Pinterest getting to know your profile and who you are and what you're about. And it takes time for that. And so, with that being said, that's why the best time to start was like yesterday, or last month, or even last year. And can you guess what the second best time is? It's today. I mean, think about it. If you start now, by this time next year, you could have pins that you posted today still bring you new traffic and leads every single day in future years to come. But if you wait 6 months, you're just delaying your results even more. And even I myself should have started way, way sooner than I did. I just decided to waste so much time using social media and struggling to figure that out. And let's be real, as a mom and all the daily duties we have as a mom and doing everything, it's just hard to come up with that much content for every single day of the year. I mean, who wants to be recording something or making little posts or reels every day of their lives and their kids are in the background getting ignored, right? I mean, I got so overwhelmed, and especially with the busyness of life, that I just ended up quitting and feeling defeated. But Pinterest is like planting a garden. You can't plant the seeds today and expect fresh tomatoes tomorrow or whatever vegetable you like. You tell me. You've got to plant them, you got to water them, give them sunlight, and wait for them to grow. Okay, that is the same way that Pinterest works for us as business owners, except instead of tomatoes or whatever vegetable you like, you're growing leads, you might be growing sales, and just plain visibility for your business. So if you're ready to plant those seeds, I want to give you 3 super simple steps to start using Pinterest for your business right now, today, or yesterday. So step 1, I want you to create a Pinterest business account, okay? It's free and it gives you access to analytics so that you can see what's working and what's not with your pins. And don't overthink it, especially within the first 6 to 12 months. Step 2, I want you to set up and optimize your profile. And if you don't know what that means, like I said earlier, Pinterest gets to know you and they want to know what you're about so that they can show it to the right people. So that means having a clear profile picture, a keyword rich bio, and boards that match your niche. Okay, so say that. Well, I'll just use me as an example, okay? I am an online business owner. I like to podcast, obviously, and I want to show women and mothers just like me how to grow an online business. So I would use a lot of keywords like online business, how to start an online business, online entrepreneurship, growing your business, starting a podcast, growing your email list, how to do this, like stuff like that. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, and then for step 3, I want you to start creating Pinterest pins and pinning content consistently, even if it's just 1 pin per day to start, okay? And if you've been creating content for a while, you have a pretty much big gold mine of where you can link your pins to. And I would start out by making 10 to 20 pins for 1 link, okay? And you want to use headlines and descriptions that are keyword and SEO friendly, whatever you may have it. In other words, you want to use words that... Okay, so your Pinterest user, they're looking for your stuff, right? You want them to go in the search bar and type in exactly what is in your headline and your description so that they see your pin. And you can really just start with 1 to 3 pins a day. You can start out small because even that will gradually grow. And you can always work up to more pins a day, but I want you to start small when you start. Start getting Pinterest to recognize you and optimize your account. And eventually you will get rewarded for putting out fresh pins all the time. And really, you can make all these pins in free tools like Canva, or if you have Canva Pro even, I think that's $12.99 a month or something. And you just create the pin, make it catchy and beautiful and like kind of out there, and either go into Pinterest. I use Tailwind because it's easy to schedule the pins out, and more than like 5 pins. I don't know how many pins Pinterest allows you anymore. And then you can just link it to your blog or your podcast or your YouTube channel or even your Instagram if you want. If you have a lot of content on Instagram, that works. Just use whatever content you already have and use the new content to create new pins so that your pins are always fresh. And that will help you to start building that long-term library of pins on Pinterest. So like I said, don't overthink Pinterest. I mean, it's something that I overthink at first, but honestly, when I got the hang of it, it was fine. It was actually really easy to use. I'm like, why did I sweat it? But it doesn't have to be perfect. Over time, you will get better and improve your Pinterest profile. But just remember, your future self will thank you for just starting today or yesterday or last year. Honestly, Pinterest is one of the most sustainable ways to get your content in front of the right people without burning yourself out. Because, like I said, these people are actually typing into the search bar what they want to learn or solve or what have you, okay? And because it's a search engine, the work you do today will keep working for you months and years from now. And I know you're tired of me saying that, but I can't express that enough. Like, how would you love to create less content and have people still see it versus only 24 hours or whatever it is on a social media platform, which I think is annoying. And not always is it that we see stuff on Instagram that we are interested in. Okay. Sometimes things pop up and it's irrelevant. Well, with Pinterest, it's relevant to everyone that is searching for what you have to offer. Okay. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time to start, this is it. Plant those seeds now, and by this time next year, you could have a thriving garden of tomatoes, of content bringing you consistent traffic and possibly sales. So I want to thank you for hanging out with me today. And if you found this episode helpful or you are just loving the podcast, don't forget to hit follow and subscribe to my email list so that you don't miss out on any upcoming episodes. I also share tips, tricks, and things I don't always share here on the podcast. All right, I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye.